Amin.
Hai, Win. Nak beli makanan Amir. Sabar.
Weh, jangan tanya soalan kat aku Aku pergi beli makanan.
Aku pun.
Aku ada soalan tapi jangan tanya soalan freak. Sumpah aku pun tak faham aku ajar apa ni.
Pada biologi ke? Tak faham. Kita orang pakai wheel lah sekejap lagi.
Yang last tu akan ada.
Hancurkan.
Siapa kau ni?
Din.
Diorang kata excuse kan orang 3, diorang tengah beli makanan. Tak lagi kan? Soalan tu last kan?
Ya.
Aku ada soalan kau. Malas lah. Soalan apa nak tanya? Hello? Kya? Okay.
Tes. Semua dah makan.
Assalamualaikum. Very good evening.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam Madam.
So, semua dah masuk ke belum
Ajang share device ke?
Okay, please stated anybody yang share device tolong bagi tahu. Kalau tak nanti saya consider as not available here or absent. Okay, group 7, when everybody here and you are ready, please proceed. Thank you. All the best.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi to my fellow classmate and respected lecturer. I am Nurul Fahana. How's everyone holidays going so far? No, okay. Did you guys enjoy your holiday? Okay. Let's face it, another 4 weeks before this semester ends. I know we can do it. So, without wasting our time, my group mates and I would like to present about our last topic for SCE523, which is the ethical aspect of science and technology. So, let's get started. Okay, so in this chapter, we're going to focus on 2 types of ethics, which is bioethics and technoethics. So, let's start. Okay, first thing first, we need to clear about what is ethics. What is the first thing?
What is the sound? I put ada bunyi something at the back. I'm sure the background or what?
Oh,
Like that. Do you? When you start talking, then ada bunyi.
Hi everyone. Dengar macam tadi ke?
Tak.
Come here.
Sorry everyone, technical issue. Sorry.
Okay, hello. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna continue our presentation. So, for the definition, what is ethic? Okay, first thing first, we need to clear about what is ethic. What is the first thing comes to our mind, to your mind when you hear about the word ethics? So, ethic is the area of knowledge that deals with moral principle. It refers to well-founded standard of right and wrong that prescribe what humans should do, usually in terms of right, obligation, benefit to society, fairness, and specific virtue. Basically, it refers to the study and development of one ethical norm. Okay. So, we're gonna start. We're gonna start with bioethics. So, for the introduction, okay, bioethic. Bioethic is the study focuses on moral issue that arise as a result of medical and biological advance, including those related to the environment, healthcare, science, and research. It is chiefly concerned with human life and well-being. So, it sometimes also treats ethical questions relating to the non-human biological environment, such as the animal rights. So, bioethic is commonly understood to refer to the ethical implication and application of the health-related life science. Next. Okay, the term of bioethic was introduced in 1971 to reference the combination of biology and bioscience with humanistic knowledge. However, the scope of its application has greatly broadened to include clinical decision-making, controversial new research, the effect of developing technology, global issues, public policy, and more. Because we know science-related technology is developing, so various ethical issues will arise. Next. Okay, I'm going to explain about the principle of bioethics. So, bioethics often refer to four basic principles of healthcare ethics when evaluating the merits and difficulties of medical procedure. Ideally, for a medical practice to be considered ethical, it must respect four of these principles. We have autonomy, justice, beneficence, and non-beneficence. They were proposed by Buchan and Childress in 1979. In the same year, the philosopher of Tom Buchan and the theologian James Franklin Childress published Principle of Biomedical Ethics, a seminal work in which they describe the four fundamental principles of bioethics. So, let's get through one by one. The first one is anatomy. Patients have autonomy of thought, intention, action when making decisions regarding healthcare procedure. Autonomy is the ability to make your own decision about what to do rather being influenced by someone else or told what to do. Each patient is free to discuss their preference for therapies and the reason for their acceptance or rejection. The medical staff must follow the patient wishes for medical intervention, assuming they are able to express them. The principle is the basis for practice of the informed consent in the physician or patient transaction regarding the healthcare. Okay, secondly,
we have a beneficence, or in Bahasa we call as the kebaikan. It requires the medical staff to do everything in their ability to benefit the patient or prevent any harm that may come to the patient. Demands that the healthcare providers develop and maintain skills and knowledge, continually update training, consider individual circumstance of all patients, and strive for their net benefit. The goal of providing benefit can be applied both to individual patient and to do the good of society as a whole. So we can say that it refers to action that promote the welfare of others. Okay, moving on. The third one is non-maleficence, which is an obligation not to inflict harm on others. Refrain from purposely injuring or harming patient by our action and inaction. It may not possible to completely prevent injury. Thus, we should be minimized. Therefore, putting another person at danger of harm is in a careless or unjustified manner is considered negligent. Providing a proper standard of care that avoids or minimizes the risk of harm is supported. Last one is justice. Okay, justice refers to everyone have an equal opportunity, or we can say a form of fairness. This principle seeks to eliminate discrimination in biological studies and healthcare. Healthcare and research should not be based on sex, race, religious, or belief. The medical staff must follow the patient's wishes for medical intervention, assuming they are able to express them. And it also, they also need to avoid using any form of discrimination and treat everyone with the same respect. So, in bioethics, there's also a few major issues that have been discussed. So, okay, so I'm gonna explain four of it. We have abortion, euthanasia, human cloning, and the stem cell research. So, abortion. The term abortion refers to the premature end of pregnancy, whether it occurs naturally, which is we call the miscarriage, or it is induced through surgery or medication. The issue of abortion generates very personal arguments on a wide range of topics, including politics, religion, sexuality, autonomy, morality, and science and medicine. The issue of parental responsibility and parental obligation are also raised. Whether or not it is moral, should abortion be legal? Although abortion has long been debated in almost all issues in bioethics, there is still no moral consensus achieved. Okay, for the second one, we have euthanasia. Euthanasia is act or practice of painlessly putting to that person suffering from painful and incurable disease, allowing them to die. It literally means as a good death. Physicians, however, lawfully decide not to prolong life in cases of extreme suffering, and they may administer drugs to relieve pain, even if this shortens the patient's life. Euthanasia sensitivity and equality of all life form. And euthanasia is believed to corrupt the practice of medicine as well as undermine the value of the suicide prevention. Okay, and the third one we have the human cloning. Okay, human cloning refers to the process of creating a new population of genetically similar and identical naturally occurring organism. The usual target for cloning include bacteria, plants, and animals. Bioethical issues regarding cloning focus on the fact that the human becomes the subject of the experiment. Most scientists believe that the process of cloning humans will result in even higher failure. It can cause damage to the clone, such as their organs. Very low success rate, even if there are lots of trials and samples. And the last one is psychological effect to the clone. So I'm going to present to you guys one video that related to the human cloning for the further explanation.
With all the work to do, people to see, traffic jams to get stuck in, we all sometimes wish we could be in two places at once. We've already cloned sheep, cows, even monkeys. What if we cloned ourselves? Would a clone have feelings and be self-conscious? Could you genetically modify them to become better than yourself? This is what if, and here's what would happen if you cloned your body. Cloning is reproducing a genetically identical copy of an organism. Scientists are doing that all the time. But they aren't cloning humans. They're mostly making copies of cells or DNA fragments for research purposes. Occasionally, they'll clone an animal too. In the case of Dolly the sheep, scientists took a somatic cell from an adult sheep and inserted it into an egg that had all of its DNA information removed. Since then, we've cloned dogs, cats, horses, and just recently, primates. It looks like researchers have figured this cloning thing out. What if one day they decided to start cloning humans? It turns out some organisms are harder to genetically duplicate than others. Dogs are harder to clone than cats, and rats are even harder to clone than dogs. Humans are also among the toughest. Tough, but possible. What if you were the first one ever to make a clone of yourself? Would it be an exact copy of you? I hate to break it to you, but not only would your clone have a different personality, but they'd also look different. Think about it this way. Just how identical are identical twins? You may not notice at first glance, but when you look closer, one of them has a birthmark on their cheek, and the other one is a little taller. While you won't notice much of a difference in a sheep clone, once you looked at your fresh from the lab you'd see that it's, well, not you. You're more than just a product of your genetic code. Your character, behavior, even your appearance depend on the environment in which you were raised. You can make a copy of your genes, but copying your memories and experiences is impossible. Oh, and you realize that your clone wouldn't be your grown-up self, right? You'd have to raise that cloned baby before they got to your age, if they ever do, because clones are typically very unhealthy. Most likely, they'd have a defective heart, liver, and brain, as well as a very weak immune system. Many cloned animals had their cells age much faster than normal. Your clone's body would probably get old and deteriorate much sooner than you. Unfortunately, your clone would totally different personality. Human cloning is illegal almost everywhere on Earth. Now and then, a group of researchers will claim to have cloned a human successfully, but with no scientific information to prove their claims, human cloning remains in the realm of science fiction. So, if you're ever on a trip abroad and meet someone who looks like you, don't panic. The chances that you were cloned are close to zero. Have you seen your look-alike? What if everyone in the world had a double? Well, that's a story for another What If.
Okay, so that is the further explanation about the human clone. Okay, now let's proceed with the last one, which is the stem cell research. Okay, stem cell is a type of undifferentiated cell that can divide and differentiate into a specialized cell. Stem cell research offers much hope for alleviating the human suffering brought on by the ravage of disease and injury. For example, in stem cell transplant, stem cell replace cell damage by chemotherapy or disease or serve as a way for the donor's immune system to fight some type of cancer and blood-related disease such as leukemia. Supporters of bioethics believe that the stem cell research violates this notion because the source of organism is usually destroyed during the process. So that's all my explanation for the bioethics. Now I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna ask two lucky person. The question related to my previous part. So, okay, for my part, I'm gonna pick. Lah. I'm not gonna use the wheel. So, the first one would be Hazmi. Is Hazmi is there?
Yes, I'm
Okay. So, the first question: which one of the principle of bioethics are suitable with this statement? A physician making sure the treatment given to a patient do not cause them any harm. So Hazmi, can you answer the question?
anatomy.
No.
Non-maleficent.
Yes, that's right. Non-maleficent. Because non-maleficent, which is we refrain from purposely injuring or harming patient by our action or inaction. So for the second question, I'm gonna pick a girl. So um, Siti Sadia. Sai, are you there?
Hi, ada.
Okay. So the second question is, what is your opinion on euthanasia issues? Did you think that the putting a person to that is good? Because
But I will answer on my opinion lah. Okay, so my opinion about this euthanasia is to commit euthanasia is to fail to see the intrinsic worth or dignity of the person. So the judgment the judgment that what has worth intrinsically somehow does not have worth is both logically and morally wrong for me lah.
Yes, because I asked what is your opinion. So yeah, that's a great opinion. So that's all for my part. I'm gonna pass to the next presenter. Thank you for listening.
Okay, let's move on to the importance of bioethics. Yes. In this presentation, I will present four importance of bioethics. Firstly, bioethics scope can be expanded. Secondly, prepare us to be well-informed and thoughtful according to the ethics in biology and science. Thirdly, to cultivate our critical skill thinking. And lastly, to detect any ethical issues involved proceeding with legal action. So next. First importance of bioethics is bioethics code can be expanded. The objective of bioethics is to raise important question about the general practice of medicine and healthcare institution. As we know, the bioethics is the combination of biology, medicine, and health. So by the combination of biology and ethics, the patient and the society can raise an important question about their body if they find that it has something wrong. Secondly, to grapple with the novel bioethical dilemmas constantly generated by new biomedical technologies, the bioethics code can be expanded. So the objective is to find any ethicals that related to the biology and also related to another study. For example, biomedical technology and also biochemistry. Thirdly, to challenge the assumptions. Thirdly, to challenge the assumption and decision of international and population-based efforts in public health and healthcare delivery in economically advanced nation. So if we find something wrong with the in related to biology or medicine, we can raise or argue the decision. For example, the mandatory of COVID-19. So we can challenge and ask for the which parts of bioethic. Next, prepare us to be well informed and thoughtful according to the ethics and biology and science. Can alter our thinking as someone who knows knowledgeable about science and ethics. So we have from background science, right? So we have the basic knowledge about the nature, how the biology, the science, and how the nature or environment related. This is what the science student. But if we learn about bioethics, we will go more deeper. Like we can argue, is this okay or can we do this? Okay. So the difference between bioethics and science question. So as we know that science more like general and bioethics is like can we do this or should we? Okay. So the science is about for the understanding the nature or biological environment or human things, but the bioethics is about the seeks for what is best to do. So the next difference is for if we science or science student, the knowledge is about is. For example, what are the physical problem of using steroids? So we can know the advantages of this or disadvantages of using steroid. But if we learn about bioethics, we know is it okay for us to do this or should athletes to be allowed to do this. So we put a limit to do something or not to do something based on bioethics. Okay, next. Okay. Thirdly, to cultivate our critical thinking skills, as we know that bioethics is a scope that involve or inter-study of biology and ethical issue or ethics. So we will cultivate our critical thinking skills. There are much or more element critical thinking skills. So this one is the basic one. Firstly is to identify problem. For example, my group has done the timbang kilo products. Okay, the firstly to identify the problem. So what is the problem? The problem is breakout after you apply this kind of products. So we have to identify the problem first. And then we have to do research for the knowledge, for the facts, for the information, for the testimony, and then we have to identify bias. Even though for example, the problem not always bad, it also has a good side, right? For example, for my group discussion has discussed that Terima Kilo product also has advantages. For example, they have fast whitening in 3 days and is much cheaper than the original one. And for the fourth one, to inference. Inference is like we draw a conclusion based on our research. And then to determine relevance. Relevance is to determine that our research, if this the information reliable, is this the information is up to date. And then after we have know the research, we have inference and so on, we can raise the curiosity. Curiosity is like what will happen if we do this. Is this can happen for another factors? So lastly, by know about bioethics, we can make judgment. If we are the one that will want to buy this kind of product, so after we have cultivate our critical thinking skills, do you still want to buy this kind of products? So this one is how bioethics will implement your thinking skills. Okay, next. Lastly, to can detect any ethical issues involve proceeding with legal action. We know that bioethics and legal action is different for each country. That's why there are a few countries that allow this kind of abortion, but our country is not allowed. So it's up to the country that we can proceed with the legal action. For the common action that neglects the bioethics are abortion, medicine and criminal law, medical negligence and malpractice, the Mental Health Action 2001, organ donation, medical genetics, and organ transplantation service in Malaysia. So there are a lot more that bioethics can proceed with the legal action in Malaysia. Next. Okay. Let us proceed to the effects of bioethics. Effects of bioethics. Firstly, consequence-based. Secondly, duty-based, and thirdly, virtue-based. Okay, next. For the effects in consequence-based, which means the results, the outcome, and the judgment. So the consequence-based approach emphasizes the importance of considering the consequence of an action taken. The overall goal of this approach to maximize positive outcomes while minimizing negative outcomes. As we know, the effects or the consequence is not always a good thing. It can be a good or bad thing. But the overall of bioethics is to positive outcome. For example, vaccine mandates are good because high level of vaccination prevent potential future break. As we know that our country is make the vaccination mandatory for everyone. So the consequence is good. For example, high levels of vaccination will prevent the future outbreak and will make ourselves get a higher tolerance into the virus. Next. Okay, the secondly is duty-based. It highlights how people behave to the idea and build a sense of responsibility to follow the order. The fundamental concept is that certain ethical rules must be followed regardless of the eventual consequence that may produce. For example, in duty-based, it highlights how people would behave to the idea or to the order, and view a responsibility to follow the instruction. The pros is people will obey the order, but the cons is vaccine mandates are bad because individuals should have a choice with regard to undertaking medical procedure. So based on the principle of bioethics, we know that we have a concern or choice to pick, but based on the effect after we implement the bioethics, the people will follow the order, but they are also a people that have to follow the order. For example, my uncle, right? So he has to got 2 vaccination shot before travel to overseas. So after the first shot, his right eye is this call is about to end. Yeah, proceed. His right eye is getting blurred, and then after a few days, his both eye getting partially blind, and after getting can we proceed? Okay. Okay. To the pros and cons of people of DT-based effect of bioethics. So the effects is vaccine mandates are bad because individuals should have a choice with regard to undertaking medical procedure. So I have story about my uncle. He got a vaccine to travel overseas, right? Because it is compulsory to get two vaccination before getting travels to overseas. So after the first shot, his right eye getting blurred, and then after 2 or 3 days, both eyes are partially blind. And then he went to the doctor, and then his eye or his retina already perfect, nothing wrong with his eye. So the suspect the problem is on the brain. So and then the doctor asked for the chronology. So and then he said that maybe he take it because vaccine. So the doctor have do a conclusion that the vaccine had activate his potential cancer at the cerebellum. So he went to for a surgery, and then bedridden for a month, and then he passed away. Okay. Next. The virtue base. Virtue base is the moral character or attitude developed. He acknowledged that individuals from various culture and backgrounds should be influenced or impacted by the same behavior in various ways. Virtue base is like when everyone is obey the order, so it influences the environment to do a good thing. For example, a good person would take any action to protect other people and can influence other either by their words or action. For example, like the influence of social media when they are getting the vaccination, they post it. So the effects is in virtue based that it will implement the moral character or attitude to help or to take any action to protect other people. Okay, next. I think that's all. Okay. And the question one, there is prison. Wait, okay, Najiha and Ame, you can pick any question 3 or 4. Aiman, right? Aiman, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I
Najiha.
will take
Okay,
question
Aiman.
4. Question
Okay.
4.
Question 4. So Najiha
Yeah.
will take question 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Najiha, are you there?
Okay. Okay. Question 3. I think science and also bioethics is not the same things, because science is actually basically about hunt for understanding nature, while the bioethic is something that see what is the best to do.
Okay, that's right. Thank you.
Okay, for two importance of bioethics is first, bioethics scope can be expanded. Second, cultivate our critical thinking skill. Is that
Okay.
okay? All right.
That's
Thank you.
correct. Thank you. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, hi everyone. So today I'm going to talk about application and career option of bioethics. There are four applications of bioethics. First is Human Genome Project. Second is stem cell research. Third is assisted reproductive technologies. And fourth is pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. Okay, for Human Genome Project. The Human Genome Project was a worldwide scientific research effort that aimed to discover the base pairs that make up human DNA, as well as to identify, map, and sequence every gene in the human genome. The Human Genome Project will uncover new genetic data that will improve diagnosis and ultimately result in treatments for particular disorders. Sound public policy and more patient care is must incorporate. Okay, the Human Genome Project has revealed the whole genetic sequences of certain bacteria and yeast. I have prepared a video for us to watch for further understanding.
An organism's genome is the entire genetic material of that organism, so the complete set of DNA. It provides all of the information required by the organism to function. DNA is a long chemical that contains bases represented by the letters A, T, G, and C. A gene is a section of DNA that codes for a particular protein. To learn more about DNA, watch this video. The human genome is 3 billion bases long, but only consists of about 20 to 25,000 genes, as an average sized gene is only about 3,000 bases long. This means that large parts of our DNA doesn't code for genes. The genome of every person on Earth is 99.9% the same. It's that tiny 0.1% that makes up genes that give us our unique differences. In fact, our genes are 98% similar to a chimpanzee's and 75% the same as a mouse. The Human Genome Project was an enormous project that saw scientists around the world collaborate to work out the sequences of bases in the human genome. The project started in 1990 and was completed by 2003, 2 years ahead of schedule. And here is the order of the bases: A, T, G, C, T. Only joking. If I was to read out the bases, one at a time, for 24 hours straight, it would take a whole century, and I certainly don't have time for that. So, now we have the information, how is it being used? Well, since the structure of DNA was determined in 1953, we have known that the order of the bases is very important, and that a change or mutation in this order can result in diseases. By sequencing the whole genome, scientists can use this information to work out the genetic causes of diseases, such as cancer, as well as developing treatments. The forms of genes or alleles associated with different inherited disorders have been mapped, which means that genetic tests can be carried out on people to see if they are sufferers or carriers of an inherited disorder. For example, a genetic test can tell if someone is a carrier of cystic fibrosis. By comparing the DNA of people living in different parts of the world, scientists have been able to trace human migrations. The out of Africa theory, that the first humans left Africa within the last 100,000 years, has been supported by comparing the DNA of people living in different areas of the globe. The evidence shows which people are more closely related to others. Because of all the data generated by the Human Genome Project is available to anyone to view free of charge online, means that scientists around the world can use the information in their research. This helps to increase the number of uses for it. There have been major advancements in DNA sequencing since the Human Genome Project ended. It took 13 years and billions of dollars to sequence a whole genome during the project, but now scientists can do it in a matter of hours, and you can even get yourself sequenced for a small fee. These advancements will help develop new strategies for the prevention and treatment. So, in this video, you've learned what a human genome is, what the Human Genome Project information from it
If you
is
like the
being
video,
used.
give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions.
Okay, so basically, the primary work of the Human Genome Project is to develop 3 research tools that will allow scientists to identify genes involved in both rare and common diseases. Another project priority is to examine the ethical, legal, and social implication of new genetic technologies and to educate the public about these issues. Although it has been in existence for less than 6 years, the Human Genome Project already has produced results that are permeating basic biological research and clinical medicine. For example, the researchers have successfully mapped the mouse genome, and work is well underway to develop a genetic map of the rat, a useful model for studying complex disorders such as hypertension, diabetes, and alcoholism. So next, we are going to talk about stem cell research. So the stem cell research is a field of study known as stem cell research, examines stem cells' characteristics and potential applications in medicine. Stem cells are blank. They can therefore differentiate into cells that perform a variety of tasks in various bodily areas. The majority of the body cells are differentiated. Only in a particular organ can these cells accomplish a certain function. So basically, let's say this is one stem cells. So this is blank, it is unidentified. So if it is differentiated, it can choose in between to differentiate into another stem cells, or it can choose to be differentiated into a particular stem cells that carry out a particular job in our body. For as example, it can differentiate into a stem cells, or it can differentiate into a red blood cells that carry out grow new cells in a laboratory to replace damaged organs or tissues, correct parts of organs that don't work properly, research causes of genetic defects in cells, and research how diseases occur or why certain cells develop into cancer cells. So next is assisted reproductive technologies. So these are the assisted reproductive technologies is referred as fertility treatments and procedures that help with these difficulties or inability to conceive child. The assisted reproductive technologies procedures include by taking eggs out of the ovaries creating embryo by combining it with sperm in the laboratory, then the embryo is returned to the parent's body or donating them to another woman. This can help hopeful parents struggling with a range of fertility issues to successfully conceive and deliver a child. So these procedures it may also involve a surrogate mother. A surrogate is a person who becomes pregnant with sperm from one partner of a couple. So last but not least, the pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. This is a method used to detect genetic chromosomal abnormalities in embryos made by in vitro fertilization before. This method is mainly used to reduce the risk of passing on inherited conditions. The cells are taken from the embryo, are then analyzed for the presence or absence of the relevant mutation or chromosome abnormality. This enables choosing embryos for worm transfer that are unaffected by the relevant mutation or defects. So we are going to talk about the career option of bioethics. These are some examples of the career option in bioethics. First, medicine. Second is veterinary medicine, health law, social work, dentistry, and biomedical research. So I'm going to pick two persons from the class to answer the question. So our lucky person today is Nur Fatin Najiha. Is Fatin here? And okay, so I'm going to call Atin. Okay, next lucky person is Amin. Is Amin here? Amin. Is Amin and Fatin here?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, Amin, can you answer my question? Which one would you like to choose? Is it the fifth question or the sixth questions? Amin. Is anyone there? Hello.
Hello?
Okay. Oh, okay, Amin. Which question would you like to choose? Is it the fifth question or the sixth question? Sorry, Amin.
The fifth question?
The fifth question. All right. Okay. So Atin, is Atin here?
Allah, tak boleh tekan. Okay, hello. Hello.
Okay. Hi, Atin. So Atin, you will be answering the sixth question, which is what is pre-implantation genetic diagnosis?
Pardon me?
The sixth question. What is
Hello.
Yes, Amin, are you
Yeah, I
ready
answer
to
you.
answer your question? Yay, alright. The answer?
I thank you.
Okay, next question.
Hello.
Hello, hi Atin.
Hi. So the question sounds like is pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, right? Diagnosis.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you the definition.
Yes. Let's just
So
the definition.
it's a simple like the definition. Pre-implantation genetic diagnosis is the genetic profiling of embryos prior to implantation and sometimes even of oocytes due to fertilization.
Thank you so much, Atin and Amin, for answering the question. So I'm going to pass my presentation to the next presenter.
Okay, hello everyone. So we have done with the bioethics part. Now let's continue with the technoethics. So introduction to technoethics. Okay, so it's technoethics is an interdisciplinary area concerning all moral and ethical aspects of a technological society. It deals with promoting the social, political, and moral sphere of life. It also looks at social policies and action taken in reaction to issues presented on by development and usage of technology. The growing field of technoethics is important to encourage dialogue aimed at determining the ethical use and advising principles that help to guide a new technological advance for the benefit society in a variety of social contexts and the ethical dimension. Okay, so the technoethic is a term coined in the 1974 by the Argentinian Canadian philosopher Mario Bunch to denote the special responsibilities of technologists and engineers Okay. The role of technoethics. Technoethics are the principles that can be used to govern technology, including the factor like risk management and the individual rights. We can govern our technology by laws, which in technology is of managing rather than controlling the same. Lazy, more crazy. Therefore, the field of technoethics is very important in managing issues like that. They are increasingly damaging to the community and the loss of moral value in people nowadays.
You don't have slides? So I can't see the slide. Maybe I took.
Oh, ada slide.
Yes, sorry.
Society, but appreciates few things about the way that technology of society, our morality, the more than we asking of the new technologies include should we doing with this our now that we have to load them, what we are trying to achieve, and how can this technology help or harm the people. Okay, so I'm going to give you some example. Okay, for example, people can make more efficient weapons, so therefore more efficient at killing and destroying things. That does not mean that they are good or will be used for good. So that's why we really need the technoethics as a role to govern our technology issues. Next, I'm going to explain about the current. Okay, we have the three issues here. The first one is copy. One is the privacy and security. Okay, for the first one is copyright is a form of intellectual property to protect creative works or of an original creator. In this modern era, anything you download from the internet um, is set by the copyright infringement is using protected by copyright law without prior permission, breaching certain as the right to reproduce, distribute, display. We all know that stealing someone's work is considered as an illegal act. Right? So let's proceed with the second one. The second is the cyber criminality. Okay, cyber criminality is the use of computer as an instrument to further illegal ends such as committing fraud, trafficking in child pornography, stealing identity, or spreading the virus. We need to know that the cybercrime can be carried by individual or organization. Okay, so modern convenience and quite activity. Is privacy and security. Okay, the meaning of the privacy is the right to control how your information is viewed and used. And why security is the protection against threats or danger. A lack of personal privacy can become a public security issue as technology advances to make life easier. Privacy may increasingly compromised. So, the example of privacy issues have the first one is spying and snooping, which is the trackers keep record your appropriately. It possesses mentioned Your definition also refers hand information to the word about. So, as we know, the words and in this part we also have two questions. Yes. Okay. Is please there.
Example of cybercriminality is
Which is is okay. Hasanya. Okay, this is gonna answer the first question, and the second question is Hasanya.
can I complete my question?
Okay. Okay, give one example of cybercriminality.
So give one example of cyber criminality is scammer or fraud.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, second question.
One of another safety issue that I know is contraceptive pill.
Okay, yeah, a little bit about the contraceptive pill.
Contraceptive pill prevent the ovaries from releasing an egg each month, and the process is called.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna pass to the next presenter.
Okay, let's move on to the importance of technoetics. Next. Yeah, I will explain. Firstly, as in technology. Secondly, to improve decision making by knowing about ethics in technology and law related. The change of ethical responsibility and accountability. Lastly, to highlight the human needs and interests behind the technology. Next. So we will go one by one. Firstly, to educate people to consider pros and cons, do and don'ts of using technology. As we know, the technology is multi-function and purpose, right? So it depends on the people or society how to use it. We take example for a drone. Or a flying robot that can be remotely controlled or fly using a software or controlled by a human. So it helps to the user how to use it. So for the good or bad things. First, for example, if they want to go for a good things for drone we use for agriculture to for the bad things, it can invade the privacy and also like military. It can become a dangerous equipment, for example, for a target attacks, like a bomb someone by using this kind of technology. For example, by learning about smartphone and laptop is biometrics, we know how to consider the pros and cons and setting a limit of do and does. Okay. Next. Decision making by knowing about ethics and law related thinking about knowing that we have this time we have AI that can control or think like human. So how techno ethics can be can affect it by improve the decision making. So techno ethics is not only an interdisciplinary field but also multidisciplinary field as technology involved in many aspects of study. For example, we have the nanoscience. Nanoscience is a combination of biology, chemical engineering, chemistry, electrical engineering, environmental science, and technology, and also physics. It's how the technology involved in many aspects. So the next one is example is bionics. Bionics is use of knowledge about how biological system work to help solve engineering problems such as bionic arm. So we have the bionic arm. So by the researcher learn about the techno ethics, it will relate about how to make or set a limits about the bionic arm. And then for biomedical engineering is the application of the principles and problem-solving techniques of engineering to biology and medicine. So next one. Next, the importance of techno-ethics is to build a good society. Techno-ethics make a society peaceful, harmony, a better place to live by guiding a behavior of people. It acts as a self-governing system to keep human self-interest in a good mindset by always looking at his own critically to evaluate the morality of his action, choice, decision in every step in life. So as we know, the techno-ethics will build a guideline or rules for everyone to live in when they use a technology. Since every ethical issues is different and unique, technology ethics guide people to apply the decision framework to every circumstances and reach the best option. So we know that we have a technology that will advance or evolve for future and then the present. So how the people will use the technology? Is this they want to use for a bad thing or good thing? So by know the importance of technoethics, they learn how to limit themselves from doing a bad things. Next. Okay. Next, to establish change of ethical responsibility and accountability. Establish change of responsibility and accountability to ensure that members of a project or organization take implicit ownership of the ethical significance. Identify who is in charge of each aspect of ethical risk management and harm prevention in each of the pertinent risk-laden activities area. Who will be expected to provide answer, explanation, and remedies if there is a failure in a project involve technology. For example, we take Tesla. Tesla has a AI technology. If Tesla kill or hit someone, so which parts of level of the responsibility will give the explanation? Is this the whole team of Tesla will take the responsibility, or just engineering or researcher, or they have designer to take or to provide the answer if there are any failure or bugs in technology? Next. Lastly, highlight the human needs and interests behind the technology. Especially in the technical parts, it's easy to lose sight of what technology does to human life in interest. A technology involves the most sensitive aspect of human being life, such as their bodies, their finance, their social relationship, and their emotion and mental states. A person will handle another person's body, money, or mental condition with due care. The same ethical duties apply when developing technology that touch these and other important aspect of people life. For example, people that working at bank will use technology to secure the data. So by learning about technoethics, they know the rules of technoethics for protect the privacy and security of their user. Next. We will explain about the effects of not complying with technoethics and its punishment in Malaysia. Okay, there are a lot more. So these are the consequences of not complying with technoethics and its punishment in Malaysia. Firstly, we will go for the cybercrime. So next. Cybercrime at 1997, known as CCA, is a specific regulation enacted in Malaysia in 1997 to counter the cyber crimes. It criminalizes the following, such as hacking, creating and spreading virus, denial and of service attack, and electronic theft. So the punishment depends on the type of offence. Commits range from a fine from 25,000 ringgit to 150,000 ringgit, or imprisonment of 3 to 10 years or both. This kind of the punishment is changeable and up to date. So this is just a general knowledge for us if we become a victim or a offender for not doing this, because it has a law that protected the society. Okay, next. Plagiarism. As explained earlier, the plagiarism is like stealing someone's work or without giving them a credit. So before we recognize it as a plagiarism, we have to identify if this the plagiarism based on is inspiration or desperation. For example, we take a phone. Phone have a lot of design. Is it we can take like, is it everything copy each other or not? So it's just a inspiration. So plagiarism coming from desperation, when someone doesn't have any idea or don't know what to do, he brutally takes someone's work without giving them any credit, or he just name it as his own. So the copyright protection is provided under the Copyright Act 1987. Legal, economic, and moral rights of a copyright owner are all protected by the Copyright Act or CA 1987. Legal action will be taken if you use or apply imitation in an evidence of dishonest manner for commercial use while not having permission for the owner or of a registered design. So next. Next one is phishing or identity theft. Phishing is a type of fraud or identity thief. Email posing as a communication from respecting business, banks, or government agency are frequently used to trick people into disclosing personal information like password, credit cards, and details. Let me present one video. So that yeah. Okay. So,
유용자들 개인정보를 지키지 못했다는 걸로 3천억을 부과하는 거 이거 너무하지 않습니까? 방통위가 실수로 공을 몇 개 더 찍은 것 같습니다.
방송통신위원회가 실수로 공을 몇 개 더 찍은 것이 아니라고요.
더럽게 건방지네 진짜. 우리 고객들이 공동소송을 준비 중이랍니다.
동료를 위해서 좀 바보 같을 수는 없어요? 조율 가능한 부분이
좀 그만하라고 좀! 그렇게 잘났으면 네 혼자 하세요. 오늘부로 우용 변호사 이 사건에서 제외입니다.
Okay, by looking at the video, this one is like a case about spear phishing, which means someone who pretend to be your friend send an email, and then when he open it a virus or them to trade in, like if the bank want the data back, so it has to pay the hackers. So next. Cyberbully. Cyberbully under Section 223 of the Communication and Multimedia Act 1997 according create communication which is obscene, indecent, false, or manifesting or offensive in character with intent to annoy, abuse, threaten, or harass someone, another person through any network facility or network service or application service. As we know, if it's illegal to cyberbully, like you make someone feel annoyed, feel abused or threatened by your comment in social media, they can file you a fine or make a case for that comment. Those found guilty under the Act are subject to a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit, a maximum jail terms of 1 year or both, as well as additional fine of 1,000 of additional day the offence persists after conviction. So, if you already offense or already convicted for the guilty, right, and then you still commit the same work or the same cyber. So after you already bail from the jail, you will still get a fine of 100,000 for each day if you still conduct the cyberbullying. Next. Online spreading of terrorist propaganda. As we know, technologies will involve social media and another application. So like ads. So by using social media to promote terrorist propaganda or action is a serious crime under Section 130J of the Penal Code and is punishable by up to 30 years in jail. So I don't want to elaborate in this part because we know that the terrorist propaganda like ISIS. So if you go into this association, it will promote this association in Malaysia, you will punishable or the maximum punishment is 30 years in jail. Okay, failure to secure personal data. According to Section 9 of the Personal Data Protection Act of 2010, data user who process personal data for commercial purpose such as bank, telecommunication provider, internet service provider, or application service provider are strictly obligated to take responsible precaution to safeguard the hacking data, the loss, unauthorized or accidental access or disclosed alteration and destruction. Failure to do so could subject the data user to criminal prosecution under the PDPA 100,000 up to 3 years in prison or both. As we know, when we provide for example, the bank, the telecommunication service, we provide our personal data, right? So if they fail to protect our personal data or they have a hacking that will leak our personal data, so as a user, we can find them or we can file a case for the company because they fail to secure our personal data. Next. Yeah. Lastly, spread false information. The Anti-Fake News Act 2018. The crime of creating, spreading, and publishing fake news is defined in Section 4 of the Act. It states that any person who intentionally creates, offers, publishes, prints, distributes, or promotes fake news is facing a fine maximum to 500,000 ringgit Malaysia, 6 years in prison, or both. If the offense is repeated, they may also face additional fines up to 3,000 ringgit each day. So for this one is also like fake news. When you, for example, like when we read a news and then we already believe it and we doesn't conduct a research for that news. So we distribute or we spread or we promote the data without knowing that it is without knowing it is fake news. It also can be influenced or also can be fined. But if you have the intention to create the fake news, you already know this one is fake news, but you still promote it. So the fine is different. Okay. That's all. I think that's all. Let's move on to the question. Let's pick the lucky person. And are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, wait. Let's pick another one. If you are fake. Hafiq here. Hafiq. Is Hafiq here?
Ada.
Okay. Jane, which question you want? Question number 3 or 4?
I think I will take question number 3.
Okay. So Hafiq, you will take the question number 4. While waiting for them, can we watch some video? But this one is not too academically, but just for information. You want to?
Can I answer first?
Okay. Okay, Jane.
Okay, so the question is explain one importance of techno ethics. So my answer is to highlight the human needs and interest behind the technology. That is the importance of techno ethics.
Can you elaborate it?
In my own opinion, how to say? Macam mana nak cakap teknoetik ni membantu kita dalam
when using the technology.
Sorry, okay. Teknoetik ni membantu kita dalam kehidupan seharian dengan apabila kita menggunakan teknologi lah. Macam di sini dia mengatakan highlight the human needs and interest behind the technology. So itulah saya punya based on opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Okay.
Hafiq, you want me to wait for your answer or we can watch this video first? Hafiq.
Boleh. Tengok video.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Can you put on the watch for me, please?
Yes.
How was it?
Very good.
Okay, and that was for sound quality. How was it? Very clear?
Yeah, very clear.
Oh, the sound quality is very good and I can hear it very clearly.
Very clear?
Yeah.
Dearest Disha, you inspire me to live my life with compassion and taught me that no problem is big enough to break the human spirit. 12 years of ongoing depression, the sudden passing of your Acha. Life feels cruel by adding more weight than you can handle, especially dealing with a problem that is as invisible as depression.
Dear mother, not many will have such an understanding and open-minded mom like you, and my heart can't thank you enough. You are just unbothered, having people looking or judging you differently, having a son that does track.
We've been a part of each other's life for more than 20 years now. I love that we can be 1000% honest with each other, and I know you say it out of the goodness of your heart. When my family and I got into a head-on collision and I was hospitalized for weeks, you were there for me emotionally every single day.
Darling, I told myself, Bruce, you mustn't be like your dad, an absentee father. But my biggest fear came true. I was caught for taking drugs, and I've been in prison so many times. Do you know I cried so many times at night because I missed you so much? It was you who finally gave me the motivation to change. You will always be my darling.
I feel that I don't say this enough to you, that I'm super proud of you. You gave me a book once. I think it's called 100 Simple Secrets of Happy People. You scribbled a note on it and you said, hope you live your life. So I want to say this to you. When that time comes for you to take that leap, to go for it, because I've got you, always.
I remember the day you came down to support me in a club. And even though some people may have this mindset of a hijab lady in a club, we're just unbothered because you were there to see me perform. That was the most precious and proudest moment I have felt. Boy sayangkan mak, always.
Dish.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh.
Afiq, are you ready? Want to answer? Yeah. Afiq? Dengar tak? Afiq? Anyone? No? Afiq?
Ada. Sana.
So basically let me explain a little bit about the video. Basically the video produced by the Samsung, right? So it touched about the religion sentiment at the end of the video. It promotes the LGBT. So in the importance of technology, which parts we take the responsibility to answer the question when they touch the sentiment of religion or ethical issue like religion and racism. So that's why Samsung banned or just take down this video after a day they promote it. So this one is not official Samsung, it's just a channel that reposts the video. Okay, you can answer whenever you're ready, okay?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. For the cybercrime, fine of RM25,000 to RM150,000 or imprisonment of 3 to 10 years or both.
Right.
For the identity theft, a sentence of up to 5 years in prison, a fine based on the damage or both.
Okay, correct.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, Afiq.
All right.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, that's all from my part. So I will pass this presentation to my groupmates.
Hi. Okay, so I'm going to continue the presentation with the contribution of technoethics. Right. Okay, the contribution of technoethics is divided into four, which are military technoethics, media and communication technoethics, educational technoethics, and environmental technoethics. Okay, for the military technoethics, it is derived from military ethics and the study of ethical aspects of military conducted. It includes questions about the conduct of war, choices about how and when to undertake military operations, and problems with the moral psychology and care of those who serve and veterans of military service. In addition, there are three principles of conduct in war, which are discrimination, proportionality, and actions must be military necessary. So for discrimination, it is distinguishing between enemy combatants and non-combatants. It is basically to distinguish between the villain and the civilian. Right, like that. Okay. So second, the proportionality. The harms must be proportional to the gains. If there is more harm and less gains, so it will not be proportional with the principle for conduct in war. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about media and communication technoethics. Okay, media basically means promoting and defending moral principles like respect for all life, the rule of law, and legality are all part of media ethics. Meanwhile, communication means how a person uses language, media, journalism, and creates relationships that are guided by an individual's moral and values. These ethics consider being aware of the consequences of behavior and consequences. It is to respect other points of view and tolerate disagreement. Being fair and honest as well as maintaining the integrity of one's own statements are among the ethical principles. So altogether, media and communication technoethics is concerning ethical issues and responsibilities when using mass media and communication technology. It is related to internet ethics, rational and ethical decision-making models, and information ethics. Next, educational technoethics. The educational technoethics includes concerns with diversity in online learning, access to educational technology, and appropriate and inappropriate usage of educational technology. So basically, access to educational technology. We should be grateful that we are accessible for many types of educational technology. For example, today we are using Google Meets and also Canva for our learning today. Next, appropriate and inappropriate usage of educational technology. The educational technology should be used to good and should not be used in a inappropriate way. So basically, the internet gives students who plagiarize new opportunities and easy access to their work to copy and paste. So next, last but not least, the environmental technoethics. The environmental technoethics is concerning technological innovations that impact the environment and life. Many industries such as transportation, mining, sanitation, and marine contamination have a direct or indirect relationship to the man-made environment and the natural environment. The man-made environment is where we are right now. So basically for me, I am in college, so it is a man-made environment. For the natural environment, it could be the forest, maybe, okay, that's all I think. And the ethical issues that are, Schmidt's and Willott's current collection of readings, I think in 2002, on environmental ethics looks at ethical issues that are technologically infused, like how cities affect resource use, poverty globally, and population growth in a technological culture. So I think that's all from me. So we are going to move to the question session. So will we pick who is the lucky person for the next question. So may Atika help me for the wheels, please? Okay, the lucky person for our next question is Wan Muhammad Arif Afiq. Is Arif here?
Yes.
All right, Arif, can you answer my question, which is what is media and communication technoethics? Can you answer that?
Yes, I can answer it.
All right, so I give you some time. Meanwhile, I pick another lucky person. Okay, our next lucky person, the most luckiest of all, our YB, Amir Haika. Is Amir here? Amir. Oh, wow, no. Okay, so you will be answering the next question, question 6, which is what is environmental technoethics? Can you do that for me? All right, Lou. Okay, I will give you some time to answer this question, and if you are ready, you can answer it. All right. Hello. Are you ready to answer the question? All right, you may begin. Yes, correct. All right, correction. Correct. You're welcome. Okay, is Joe here? Is Arif here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, are you ready to answer the next question?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, can you answer it?
So for what is media and communication ethics? The answer is uh, concerning ethical issues and responsibilities when using mass media and communication technology.
All right. Okay, correct. Thank you so much, everyone, for answering the question. Thank you so much, especially to Joe and Amir. So I'm going to proceed to our conclusion. Terkejut ingat saya. All right. So basically, this is the conclusion for bioethics. Bioethics is the study focuses on moral issues that arise as a result of medical and biological advances, including those related to environment, healthcare, science, and research. When assessing the benefits and challenges of medical interventions, bioethicists frequently resort to the four fundamental ethical principles of healthcare. A medical practice should ideally uphold all four of these ethical standards, which are beneficence, non-maleficence, fairness, and autonomy. So next. Okay, conclusion for our technoethics. Technoethics is an interdisciplinary research area concerned with all moral and ethical aspects of a technological society. Technological ethics will persist as long as there is technological advancement, In fact, the significance of these issues will only increase. We shall decide what kind of future we create as we proceed down this path into the future together. If you want to live in a better future rather than a terrible one, we must pay increasing attention to ethics for a better future. All right, I think that's all. That's all. The presentation, our presentation for today. So I'm going to proceed to our quiz is session. Is everyone ready with your handphones, with your technology to join our quiz is? Anyone? Hello. Ada. All right. Okay. This is okay. Everyone can join lah. I wait.
QR.
Wait QR. Okay. Scan. Okay, please write down your own name. Okay, do not write down what? Pejuang agama? No, I don't like that. Dislike. Please write your own name. If your name is Hafiz, then write Hafiz instead. Your parents give you a nice name. You should use that instead. It's okay, Fatin. We can wait for you. It's okay. I'll give yours 5 minutes.
Okay, everyone is here, so we're gonna start our quiz.
Okay, let's look at the leaderboard. Hafiz on the top, and then the second one is Hafiz Bija. So the point is still as okay. The point still can be counter. Okay. Wow. Tak nampak pula. Tak nampak. Siapa ambil lead ni? Wait. Let me. Okay, so far the top three, Hafiz Bija, Nawawi, and then Faiz doesn't get wrong. Okay, they have one wrong. And then proceed with the fourth place, Noor. Noor is the same points as the Aiman. Okay, faster. Okay. Oh. Aku pula yang kusyuk tengok dah. Okay. Nawawi is halfway, right? So move on to the Hafiz take a lead now. So for Hazmi, he is getting good, right? So for the Noor also is the 5th place. Jen, are you okay? Next one. Oh. Where is the girl? Why the top one is always the boy? Go Noor, go Jen. And then where's the girl one? Wow. The boss is getting good, right? Wow, Afiq just got one wrong. One wrong. One. Aima already finished, or I still have one question left. And then for Noor also, Aima already finished. Wow. What's the orange one? I'm just getting amazed by how good you are. I don't know how to explain it, but you are getting good, right? So let's finish it. Congratulations, Nawawi, for finish this question or these quizzes. Let's wait for your members.
Thank you.
Let's focus on Afi. Is this he want to make a comeback? He looks so steady, right? No answer wrong. Wow. Let I see, Hafiz. He made a comeback. Okay, let's see who can make another comeback. Top 3. Wow. Is the question really simple, right? So let's wait for the look mic. He already half. He passed the half. Fighting. And then okay, almost of us already finished, but let's wait for our members. For Amin, I think the last one is second account, so it's not moving. He has the first one at the 6. Okay, Nurul. No. And okay, for the third one, Nawawi. And then for the second, Hazmi. Top winner goes to Hafi. Okay.
Terima kasih.
Thank you for answering this question, everyone. And then for the top 3, you can claim the gift tomorrow or not later.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's proceed to the details or to analyzing which question accuracy. So it's okay. 5 question. So the second question, Fana.
Correct answer is I'm sorry. Okay. The clear answer is autonomy because it involves with the concerns or the patient can make their own decision.
Okay, this one, the first part is already correct, but for the range of fines, 50,000 to 250,000 is wrong. So the latter part is wrong. So the answer should be false. So, next, Ani. Why must we know about technoetics? So this one is the importance of technoetics. So the answer is all above. To establish a good society, to educate people to consider pros and cons, and to highlight the human needs and interests. So the answer is all above. The objective of bioethics at SAP. This one is to cultivate our critical thinking involve biology, science, and ethics, because this one is the importance of technoethics. The question asks about the objective at SAP. So the answer is B, because the B is the importance of technoethics. Okay, proceed. Tak ada dah. Okay, that's all.
So are you done?
Okay, that's all from our presentation today. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you everyone for your time and cooperation into our presentation for today. I would like to apologize if there is any mistake in our presentation today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Group 7. Thank you all. So I think it's a good start preparation with enough information. Maybe there's a technical problem here and there. Of course, when you do online, okay. But I think for next time or next presentation, mungkin dalam semester 3 ke 4 nanti you do better lah kan, walaupun online, insyaAllah. Okay, very good elaboration, easy to understand with the help of video provided. Okay, good. Actually kalau katakan kita buat kelas ni pagi, is actually siang, actually it's great arrangement and time management. So cukup-cukup lah masa untuk kita habiskan kelas. But it's because semalam ni so ramai yang dah mengantuk. I'm not sure lah, tapi you all sebetul lambat kot kan. Cuma
tengok bola macam tu.
Ya, you know, sambil-sambil okay, release the topic worldwide issues such as cloning, IVF, data privacy and so on. Okay, overall well done Group 7. Thank you to all our fellow friends that our juga yang selalu bagi positive vibes. So walaupun dia tengok bola agaknya dia tengok juga you all. Okay, sambil-sambil tu. Okay, great job guys. Okay. And please compare all the material, quiz and quiz result in a drive and share it with me. Okay, Group 7. So it's our weekly presentation, is it? So this so that the weekly presentation you all have done fantastic job. Okay, congratulations. So those yang tak submit the commentary, please do it by week 12. Okay. So tak ada apa-apa lagi lah. Okay, thank you. Stay safe and healthy. Take care. Good night.
Madam,
Yeah.
esok madam ada turun office tak?
Ada.
Nak hantar receipt dengan madam. Nak settlekan.
Memang perlu pun Jin. Nanti kan saya tak boleh claim. You all tak dapat duit nanti.
Kesian pula member tak dapat claim nanti.
Ya. Okay.
Okay, esok kita jumpa madam lah.
Okay, boleh. Okay, thank you all.
Bye madam. Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Selamat malam.
Malam.